Hey everyone, and welcome to The Scoop, a series where I pour time into a game's story and give you only the important stuff. Today we're playing the Callisto protocol. If you have a history of epilepsy or seizures, please be careful watching this video as certain patterns may trigger one. With our spoiler warning activated, let's get into it. So you want to be a pilot, huh? You think it's all fun and games delivering cargo to and from different planets and moons like it's Futurama? Well, you're right, it's awesome! Unless you're Jacob here, he's gonna have an interesting time in the upcoming hours. Him and his buddy Max are delivering cargo to Callisto, Jupiter's second largest moon, when all of a sudden they get a knock on the door. Well, not so much a knock, but more of a forceful, we're going to try and steal your loot, blow a hole in the ship causing the ship to crash type of knock. We check on Max only to realize we left him hanging, kind of like half of his face. So we get thrown into jail under untold circumstances, but hey, it's not all that bad. I try to look at the glass half full. I mean, we have a nice view of the area with a nightlight that only sort of blinds us. They have a good healthcare system with a surgeon that's going to help out our chronic neck pain. And top-notch security that would never have an infection break out almost instantly after being locked up. I think we'll get used to it here. We get to meet a friend named Elias who wants us to break him out so he can help us escape. We meet some more friends that are going to help us defend ourselves while we're in the brig. And what the f*** is that thing?
What the fuck was that?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Jacob. Okay, so with Elias freed, now what? Well, not what I was hoping for, but hopefully the security robots will help us out. Okay, maybe not the best choice either. Well, let's head to the watchtower. Surely there will be a way to get out from here. We run into Captain Ferris, who you're meeting for the first time, but to get you all caught up, he's the one that found us in the wreckage and brought us to prison. He's now public enemy number 1, but not for long as we let some of the creatures in and they tackle him out of the watchtower Ray Lewis style. So with Elias, who knows the prison like the back of his hand, and Jacob, who is a good pilot, we need one more inmate from the maximum security SHU that can hack a ship to come down to the landing pad and allow us to leave. I mean, this is a good plan, but it all sounds too good to be true. What if we run into more enemies? Specifically ones that get their own introduction before we can even kill them. Oh man, we're in trouble. Now facing a ranged enemy that projects stuff out of its mouth, we give it a true lesson that spitters are quitters, but not before the creature gets a little tentacle play in. We find a special chest that has... that has nothing to do with the story. After finally reaching the SHU, we get an amazing trophy and dad joke. After finally, and I mean finally, getting to the holding cell after countless deaths, we find the inmate that will help us hack the ship. Wait a moment. That's the girl that made us crash earlier.
Oh, I knew it!
Elias is like, hey man, I didn't know. But I'm not really buying it at this exact moment. Now making our way out, we need to get to the tram station when...
What was that?
And shortly after...
But I'm not done yet. Call right now, and I'll triple the offer.
Really, game? 3 of them in as many minutes? As I was saying, we're trying to get to the tram station when... Screw it! We're skipping this part. Keep going. Almost there. And boom. We see the hangar, as well as the habitat dome, that we'll need to go through first. At this point, I'm starting to question where the heck my help is, because we're just conversing on the radio the whole time. They're not gonna screw us over, are they?
Don't you leave me hanging.
I got you. Unless you know I'm part of it.
Nah,
I'm
they
afraid
wouldn't
not.
do that.
I'll get
2 hours later.
Hangar's that way. Better start walking.
With the lockdown lifted, we need to run away from some creatures with Elias, so we escape to the tram station. We get some touching dialogue with Elias where we find out that he's been brought to prison for murder.
It was a long time ago, yeah? I was defending myself. Wrong place, wrong time. I made a lot of bad decisions back then.
And you know what, everyone? Seeing as that this moon has gone to shit, I hope he's learned from his past. And while he may never be able to escape what he's done, it seems like he's putting his best foot forward to work on becoming a valued member of society again. And for that, I can say we should trust him. And maybe even consider him a friend. This guy's still alive. Well, Captain Ferris, looking as lovely as ever, shoots us out into the cold winter storm on the moon, and we are separated from Elias, only to find him with his mask broken and giving his final living breaths. He gives us one last bruv, which has been his catchphrase the whole game. Before sadly dying. I genuinely was worried on whether he would become a traitor and turn on us or die, and for what it's worth, I liked him, so I'm kinda glad it's the latter and he gets to go out a hero and partially free. But you know who may still turn on us? The girl from the beginning of the game whose name is Danny. Frickin' Danny. She's gonna steal Elias's data chip, and by doing so gains his knowledge on the prison and facilities. She tells us to take a hike and to meet us at the hangar so we can get out of here instead of giving us a ride like a reasonable person would. She better hope that she doesn't need any help at any point.
Hey! Need some help here!
Oh, so now you want my company. And what if I refuse? Alright. Well, we'll help, but we're not gonna like it.
Hey, you don't have to like me and I don't have to like you, but Elias was right. We don't stand a chance alone, but together we might just make it out of here alive.
As we approach the hangar, Danny wants us to go to the wreckage that was formerly Jacob's ship to see what he was transporting, as she received intel that we made multiple deliveries before the outbreak happened. But Jacob just opens it up and shows it's medical supplies. Yeah, take that, Danny. And you have something on your ear too. Well, great, we're at the hangar. We can see the ship coming in to the background, and all of a sudden, Hologram Man, aka Warden Cole, comes out of nowhere and has a turret destroy the ship.
Go! Go! Go!
This makes us free fall and fall back into the very bottom of the prison down below. See what I did there? Now in our new environment, we run into yet another new enemy type, which are blind and honestly pretty stupid until they're not. Our whole purpose here is to get this conveyor belt thing moving to get back to Danny. There's a lot of enemies that aren't too fond of us doing that, though, that will try to stop us. After successfully killing them, we get greeted by a boss?
Here comes a new challenger!
With the boss defeated, we give it a nice GG-worthy teabag, as it will be the last time we ever have to face it.
Here comes a new challenger!
Me. Mind you, this was all in about 3 hours of gameplay too. Well, within the time frame of fighting that same enemy 4 different times, at least we do learn a little bit about what has been going on down here. Apparently there's some dead alien life form that had living larvae inside it, which was transported to the smallest of Jupiter's moons called Europa. And in doing so, the larva mutated the colonists into the enemies we've been killing, and mostly getting killed by.
Alien. What?
Even worse, we discover that the medical supplies that Jacob has been transporting were some of the larvae the entire time.
God.
And you all thought that a cargo pilot would be boring. But hold on! Before the shock settles in, here comes Captain Ferris again, looking all mutated, and I don't think he's been caring for the teasing that I've been giving this game about recycled bosses. We hold him off in time to reach Danny, but not before she gets a face full of alien larvae. We reunite with the doctor, who is so kind to give us a synthesizer to help reverse the effects on Danny, which we'll need to get a sample before fully reversing the effects. She shares with us that this plan or protocol is brought upon us by the very own Warden of Black Iron Prison. He is using cellmates to test on to create an alpha, someone that has the brute strength of the infected, but is able to maintain their human emotions and form. Well, bring it on. I want to face and kill your alpha once and for all, Warden Cole. Ha! Ferris is your alpha? We know how this is gonna go. He'll throw some combos, we'll hit him with our baton, rinse, repeat, easy peasy.
What's happening to
Oh.
Oh my God!
After killing Ferris once and for all, we talk to the warden to give him a stern talking to when Danny comes out of the woodwork and attempts to shoot the warden.
I want my sister back, fucker!
Hey, we gotta set up the sequel somehow. In classic horror game fashion, we have to escape the prison after the warden sets off the area to self-destruct. And as we close in on the escape pods, we come to learn that there's only one. Jacob seemingly sacrifices himself and throws Danny into the only pod as he feels it's a way to redeem himself for what he's done transporting the infection around, unknowingly. Before we wrap up today, I hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing to the channel for similar videos and leaving some feedback for me in the comments so I can continue to make this series better. And be sure to stick around for some bloopers in the end. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Scoop. Jacob, who is miraculously still alive, gets an incoming transmission from the doctor saying there may be a way to escape after all, mere minutes after saying,
There's no escape for me. Black Iron is where I belong.
And to be honest, all the setting up for a sequel at least has me thankful that we can walk away knowing that Captain Ferris is dead. Son of a